Hey, it's Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres with another inspirational message. You want to know what makes me happy? When I come and surprise my employees and they're all being very civil and not making escape plans. They're all working. They're all doing what they're supposed to do. Right, so some people had said to me, well, I don't know if they actually did. Maybe I'll just make believe. Make believe that somebody said to me, well, you must have a crystal ball. How did you see this coming? Because you guys know, last summer, maybe you don't know, but if I'll fill you in. Last summer, I said to my family that I'm going to build a new chicken house because the chicken house that we had was one that we used to tow around. It was a mobile chicken house. I built it years ago, and then we wound up just parking it and then building a fence around it because the chickens were in the barn, they were up at the house, in the garden, they were everywhere, and you'd have to collect them up. So we abandoned that whole eggmobile idea and went to just a system like this, and then I decided that I was going to upgrade that system, like give them a much bigger yard and more than one yard that I could actually get in with my tractor to rototill it up and then plant, right? Because chickens eat a lot of stuff. And so I did that. I built this house, and I'm in this house right now. It's pretty nice, actually. I built a lot of it was just materials that I had, scrounge materials, and it's got a a concrete foundation that was here that I built on. And I used to think, well, I would never do that because you don't want anything permanent like that. But that's how I used to think. I want the foundation to be here, because I want this chicken house to be here 100 years from now, just like that barn that's up there is still there, was built 140 years ago. I want that to be there, right? And also I can get in here and I can, it disconnected on me because there's too much, electrical activity with all those chickens in there. So it's on concrete so I can clean it out. So I'm actually doing what I'm calling a harvest. I'm harvesting all of that manure because it's really good stuff. And the manure that's getting deposited out here in their yard, I'm going to till that in the spring. It's a big yard now. That's all brand new. And then I'll be vectoring them from their house over into the old yard. I'll show you that too. This is kind of interesting. I'm really having to get into farming today. I don't know why. It's just all these processes. I did this. I set this in motion, let's say a month ago. And many people have seen this, but some people have not. This is where the chickens were. This was their old yard, and their house used to be right about there, the old chicken house. The old chicken house has been moved over to the 1/4 acre homestead, which I haven't started building yet. I'm still just kind of clearing out stuff over there. Probably start that in the spring, but this is where they were for like 10 years. So we rototilled this, and I actually took 2 10-yard dump trucks, or was it 3, out of here of material. And then I put a bunch of straw down, and then I seeded over the straw. I probably should have done that in reverse motion, but it doesn't matter because whatever comes up, comes up. And then they will be able to be vectored in here instead of the one that they're on. You see the one that they're on right now. They're restricted to that. But then we'll reaccomplish this gate so I can swing it this way and they'll be coming in here. And then this will be the third field that they're on. And it's part of a much bigger plan. All right, so we're reconfiguring fences so that in the summertime we can let them out of here, out there. We'll let them go out there. Of course, you know, if you do that, if you let them go out there in the morning, they'll get lost. And then you'll have to wind up going out and finding them and bringing them back. So we won't do that. We'll let them out like 6 in the evening. So they'll have a couple hours to go out and eat crickets and bugs and stuff. And then they want to come in to be in their nice little house. They really like this house, right? And I really like this house too, because I can get in here and I can, you know, clean it. I can get their eggs, and it's really nice and easy to do. I'm not the guy that does it. I do it once in a while, but it's one of the kids' details. And then you'll notice that the house, the chicken house, is just, it's that part, the small part right there. And it's connected to this shed that we built, right? And that shed is where I keep one of the tractors, and haven't really decided all that's going to go in there, but I can keep the chicken feed in there, which is really nice because you want to keep it out of the weather. All right, so this is what it looks like right now. It's kind of midway. And I actually have a workbench in here that had to come out of the butcher shop. So I can, you know, kind of get some stuff straightened out in here. And that tractor had to be in too. That's what my main tractor for cutting hay, so that had to be in. And I run out of space because we moved the butcher shop to the old, what was the machine shop. So we've just kind of moved things around a little bit, and this is a new building. But I really like this when I come and I see, okay, here's a plan that actually is in motion right now. We're actually getting eggs out of here. And now we have the egg crisis. Of course, I'm sure you've heard of the egg crisis. It's terrible. It's terrible. People at the store fighting over eggs. There's riots going on over eggs. We used to throw eggs at cars going past the house. We had so many eggs. Now people are giving us their children for a couple dozen eggs. You know, it's crazy what's going on. But you may think that I have a crystal ball because I sort of saw this coming. Well, I really didn't. I didn't see the toilet paper thing coming either. But I had a workaround on that. We could just use napkins, you know. People were fighting over toilet paper, but they didn't care about napkins. So let's just wipe with napkins. We never even ran out of toilet paper. It was stupid to anybody that can think. But now with the egg thing, our customers that get milk from us and beef and pork, they're saying, have you got eggs? Yeah, we got lots of eggs. So now we're moving eggs down the road too. And they're actually moving at a price that is fair, you know, for a change, right? Because the price of eggs at the store has always been right there with the price of a gallon of milk, which you can't milk a cow for that price. You can't make any money. And so it's put the small farmers just out of, you know, we can't do this because we can't work a job and milk cows and lose money on it. So it's put them out. But now things are kind of coming into line where if a person will pay $10 a gallon for milk, yeah, we can afford to milk cows and move it on and pass it on. But we're not going to do it at $1.79. There's no way. You can't even pay for your feed at that price. So things are kind of coming into line. I think it's a good thing. Food in America, all of our lives, has been sort of an afterthought. Like, well, food should just be cheap. Food should be free. right? Why should we have to pay for food? This is crazy, paying for food. Or health care. We shouldn't have to pay for that. Okay, well, what should you have to pay for? You know, maybe you shouldn't have to pay for cigarettes or beer or tattoos, you know? No, you got to pay for stuff. And food is the thing that you need the most, because if you eat the cheap food or the free food, then you wind up using your insurance at the hospital, right? So I would, and having a crummy life too. I want to live to 120, so I'm going to eat good food and go swimming in the morning and make sure I continue to enjoy my life, right? So I'm happy about this, and I even broke out the incubator this morning, and I'm going to go in there, I'm going to collect up eggs, I'm going to feel them in my hand and try to determine, I can show you guys how to do this too. This is a very important skill to have. I can take an egg and hold it in my hand, and I can tell you if it's fertilized, and I can tell you if it's fertilized with a male chicken, and I know this doesn't matter to a lot of people anymore, a male chicken or a female chicken, right? But it matters to me because it is only the females that lay eggs. And how can you tell a female chicken? I'll show you that in the next video, right? But it's very important that you keep the females, because if you keep a bunch of roosters, they don't give eggs, I hate to tell you. But we'll show you how to do that in the next video. Anyone can farm.